Okay, let's talk about assigning an alkene with a stereochemistry of either E or Z. In order to do this, we're going to split the molecule right down the middle. That's what this dotted line is for. We're going to look at the pieces coming off the right hand side and the pieces coming off the left hand side of the double bond, but we're going to do each of these separately. We're going to look at the right hand side first, and we're looking for which group has priority. And to do that, we're going to use a system called the Kahn-Ingold Prelog system that's based on atomic number. Higher atomic number means higher priority. So we're going to look at the atoms coming off the double bond carbon. And I'm going to put these red circles around the first atoms that we come across on the right hand side here. Those two atoms are carbon. Carbon and carbon are the same, so we can't assign any difference based on those two. If that's the case, then you move to the next atoms coming off that first atom and see if there's any difference there. And you carry on going until you find a difference. So for the methyl group, you can see as I've drawn there are 3 hydrogens coming off that first carbon. For the ethyl group, there are 2 hydrogens and a carbon. Now, so if hydrogen is the biggest atom coming off carbon here, then carbon is the biggest atom coming off this carbon. Carbon has a higher atomic number than hydrogen. Therefore, that means the ethyl group has priority. I'm going to put a big star here to illustrate that the ethyl group has priority. We're going to move over to the left hand side and do exactly the same thing. Now when we look at this double bond carbon, you'll notice there only looks to be one group coming off it, and that's because we haven't shown the hydrogen. So I'm going to draw it on. We're going to ask ourselves exactly the same thing. Out of the 2 groups coming off that first double bond carbon, which has the higher atomic number? And those are hydrogen and carbon. And of course carbon has higher atomic number than hydrogen, so therefore the propyl group here has higher priority than the hydrogen. Now ultimately assigning E or Z is based on the relative positions of the 2 highest priority groups. If the highest priority groups are pointing in the same direction, in other words both pointing up in this case, then that stereochemistry would be Z. If, as is the case here, the 2 groups are pointing opposite directions, see this one points up and this one's point down, then that designation is E. So in this case, this alkene is designated as E. So let's come up with the complete name for this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbons. The alkene starts on carbon 3, so that will be hept3-ene. There's a methyl group also on carbon 3. So therefore, this would be E3-methyl hept3-ene.